$7K. Yeah, for a beat up looking 6120.
Man.
And I think,
Of course, a Les Paul is like $4,800 now. Just
I
a
know.
plain Jane one.
did I ever tell you I used to have a 53 gold top Les Paul?
Fuck me, are you kidding?
No, in the original case. Yeah, in the original case. Long story short, friend of mine had a guitar store back in 1982, and I used to hang out there once in a while, and
Which
the guy
store?
walked in with it. I don't remember. It didn't last long. It was over in West Covina.
That's why I'm asking. Derek, was that his name?
No, his name was Richard Johnson. But anyway, some guy walked in with that thing one day, and I just went hamina, and I bought it. I had to make 3 payments of $250 each. The case is worth more than that now. And I bought it, and it had the trapeze bridge and the soap bar pickups. It played like shit, and it sounded worse. But it was a 63 gold top. And I had it for a while, and then when we bought our first house, we needed a washer and dryer, and I sold it for $600, $700, and a washer and a dryer, a used washer and a dryer.
I know you have made some really good deals in your life.
Yeah, that was not one of them.
Yeah.
That is.
Joe Bonamassa called and slapped you upside the head.
Oh man, I mean that's a $50,000 guitar at least, and it was bone stock and unmolested. And I think that's because it played so shitty. That trapeze bridge. I don't know how the hell. I mean, Les Paul was a player. How did he play? Your hand had to be out of here, to play it. Just.
It was. I think it was meant to appeal. Again, those are the single pull pickups, and it was meant to appeal to the jazz guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of their,
because
that's their thing.
Yeah, they play out there.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, the calls are all fucked up again. But yeah, that was a deal. I had a 1960 cherry red Strat that I bought there for pennies. I had to sell that one.
You do what you got to do, and you've done better since. But man,
yeah.
Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cherry red Strat, and it was just like, I bought it because I'm a 1960 and it was a 1960, and I paid a couple of $100 for it. It didn't have a case. Yeah, I know. Yeah, went up, shot the world famous double R bar today.
How'd you want? How'd you do?
I don't know. I didn't stick. You know me. It was 101.
Yeah.
At 11:45, and we finished, and I was like, bing, bing,
Starting
bing.
to get drippy.
Yep.
Hey everyone on the internet, make sure that when you're dropping in, go ahead and put a comment in to make sure that we know you're in. Hit that like button already. I'm gonna do it myself right now.
Yeah, if you guys don't start liking and sharing, I'm gonna block you.
And hey, guess what? If you're on YouTube, it gives you points, so it's like a game now. So if you leave a comment on there, you can wear a crown.
Yeah.
So let's go.
it takes no effort on your part to just hit like and share.
Yeah,
seriously. And if you won't do it, then
we won't like you back.
Yeah, if you won't do it for me, then I won't do it for you.
Hey, and just in case you haven't seen yet on YouTube and on Facebook too, we have a bunch of shorts out, and they're doing gangbusters. So
over 200,000 views this week.
if you can't jump on and watch the whole show, jump into those shorts. Make your like those and share those too, because those are doing great. I see. Mom's on, Ricky Riley, Eric, Craig, good to see you. Melissa, always great to have you. Kirk's in.
Now, Melissa, how come you've been with us almost since the beginning. How come you're not liking and sharing?
Here we
Yeah,
go.
we want to be liked.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. You're listening to Gunslingers, brought to you from behind the Iron Curtain on Radio Free California.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, baby.
That's us.
Oh, yeah. Let's get live.
Hey, from San Diego to San Francisco, from LA to Phoenix to Vegas, we are on the air.
And we are all over the internet, folks, on all your favorite streaming platforms. We got YouTube, Facebook Live, X, Rumble. Make sure you're on there right now.
Next week,
Yes, next week.
we're going to pick up a company called Twitch. So we're going to be live there. In case you guys have been under a rock this week, the software that we've been putting out, well, Ben set up, I'll be honest, is getting anywhere from, we're doing 6 to 9 clips from the show every day, and last week we had over 200,000 views of that. We had several of the videos that got over 5,000 likes.
Come on.
So,
You're part of this entire thing.
This
The
is
calls
all
you
you.
make, the questions you ask, and whether you listen, whether you share us.
Yeah.
You can help us as we ruthlessly strive for world domination.
yes.
Sorry, did I say that too soon, guys?
We are the #1 show of its kind.
Yes, sir.
Now, that doesn't mean we're the #1 gun show. We're the #1 show of its kind.
Come on, folks. And
So that one guy that's always on Facebook saying, "You're not the #1 show." Yeah, well,
poo-poo on you.
Thank you.
Hey, but
My mom thinks so.
thank you guys for all jumping on. And if you're on right now, make sure you're liking it already. Jump on the YouTube or on Facebook. We have the shorts going on, and make sure you're a part of it. Share those too, because they're short clips. They're real fun. They're really well done, and they're great. And love to have your support, guys. Thank you so much.
okay, so as far as tonight's show, we're not going to have a guest. We're going to do phone calls. This is a live show, and
Live
we do
show.
take phone calls. If you've got questions about guns, if you've got questions about paperwork, if you want to know what's the new hot gun to get, or if you going
The new
on
hot
for
tub to get.
well, that
yeah,
too.
sir.
If you want to know, what do you need if you're going to buy a gun, or it's your first gun, what should you get? Give us a call. What's that number?
You guys are going to want to call in. That's 866-870-5752. Once again, it's a real easy number, folks. 866-870-5752. Come on now.
Yeah, that's basically 870, like the shotgun, KRLA.
KRLA. They've got it all ready for you.
Why did I just now make that associate? Well done. How have I looked past that for 6.5 years?
I don't know. And you know what?
Good job.
We have about 3 weeks, and it will be our 6th anniversary on air. I know. It's just time has gone by so fast. And
it's gaining momentum.
yep, and so is the auctions. Man, we went out and picked up 2 collections this week. One was of an average size, and the other one was huge. So we are now just about 1/3 full for December.
That's 6 months away, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're getting a quarter filled almost.
We've got up in the northern hemisphere. We've got a collection that we're working with that it could be into the thousands of
firearms.
Yeah, and there are some exquisite firearms in there. So we're really hoping to get into that.
Imagine that. That's practically 2 auctions to itself.
Yeah.
And we might have another couple 2 days, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's just. I mean, the future's so damn bright. I got to get new shades.
Hey now.
So it seems like our phones are already blowing up. I don't know if it's
all right.
our system or what's going on. But and then last week we talked about we would do this week. So if you have we're going to talk about
or worst of.
No, both. Let's do best
Yes.
and worst of TV and or movie
firearms handling or
shots or
faux pas or
Yeah. So if you want to call in and let's have some fun with this, of course keep it clean. But
you got some favorites?
oh yeah,
I got a new favorite. Just happened this week watching the telly.
Oh, very nice.
very good. So we'll get into that, guys. And man, our phones are already blowing up.
Oh, I love to hear
You know
it.
what?
Love to hear it.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get to our friend Richard at the airport. How are you?
Evening, Richard.
Good evening, you supersonic, lightning-striking gunslingers.
Well, thank you. What's
That
going
guy.
on?
I want to know, have they ever fired a ball out of a rifled gun?
A ball? Like a tennis ball?
You mean like an old school musket ball?
Right.
Musket ball out of a modern rifled firearm?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they
out
do.
of a rifled firearm.
Well, believe it or not, the new black powder guns are rifled. So if you put a ball into one of those,
Yeah.
that's going to do it. In the old days too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you mean with a smokeless propellant?
No, the main thing I want to know if it made that bullet more accurate.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the legend of the American rifleman, the Kentucky rifle or the Pennsylvania rifle. Even back prior to the American Revolution, we had a reputation for fine accuracy because, crude as they were, we had rifled firearms back then.
Yeah.
Helping out that aerodynamics.
Okay. You got a joke for us tonight?
Yeah, do you know why people should not use gunpowder to brush their teeth?
Gunpowder.
I think it'd be a blast. I don't know why.
Boom!
Close, but they would be prone to shoot their big mouth off.
Boom, baby! Here we go.
Richard, thanks as always.
That's
We'll
how
talk to you next week.
God bless you, Richard. That's the way I like to start
Bye-bye.
the show.
All right, let's jump over to Eric in Santa Ana. Eric, what can we do for you?
Evening, Eric.
Hey guys, I come across. I have friends of mine that are ex-police officers, and they have cargo shorts where they carry their pistols in. And I recently bought a pair, and with deep pockets in front, and I have a sticky holster for one of the deep pockets. Of course, they're shaded real dark color, so it won't print very well.
Sure.
But I have a problem with the belt. I have leather belts that are uncomfortable, and I recently bought a stretchy nylon web type belt, which will be coming to me in a couple days, for comfort in wear. And then the T-shirt goes over it in warm weather and all that stuff. I was just wondering what you guys is your scenario.
Well, are you looking for fashion or firearm safety?
Firearm safety and comfort.
Comfort.
Well, honestly, the best thing you can do as far as keeping it concealed is usually wearing like a T-shirt. I always use I'm a big fan of Phobos. It's a paddle. It's a what is it? It's that plastic.
One of the Kydex.
Yeah, Kydex.
Which fits to the gun, and importantly, and this is really important, Eric, covers the trigger.
Yeah, and so that slides right over my belt, and then something like a light, not flannel per se, but a light
button-up polo, something
kind
like
of
that.
thing. Yeah, well, kind of the buttons down the middle.
Yeah.
Shirt over the top of that, and that almost always hides it. The worst thing that's ever happened. Somebody said, "Wow, you have a large cell phone." So,
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Thank
I
you. I'm glad you noticed.
Thank you very much. So it was, that's the only thing that I would say is, sometimes it's best with a T-shirt. It doesn't. It prints too much.
Yeah.
So you don't want to.
clings to you.
Yeah, so you want to kind of stay away from that and you do that. Another one that I really like is it's a belly band and it goes under your shirt and it's kind of
Just
that
that
neoprene
nylon wraparound.
Yeah, and then it locks into place. When I do my walks, I wear one of those, and man, you can't tell I got anything on.
That tucks
doesn't-
it very tightly.
Plus, it sucks your gut in. So.
And it doesn't really, even with the light T-shirt, you do a tank and all that, it doesn't print on
No.
the shirt whatsoever because
No.
it's so
if you can get
solid.
away with not printing under a tank top. That's
Yeah.
solid gold. That's
So those are my two go-tos. All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, you bet. Thank you.
Hope it's helpful.
Great call.
All right. That leaves Mark in Ventura. Mark, we're going to have to wait on you because we're coming up on a break, number one and number two. In the next, our next segment, of course, we got Rick from the CRPA coming on. But Mark, don't hang up. We will get to you.
Hold on tight.
As soon as we're done with Rick. Anybody else wants to give us a call? What's the number, Jimmy?
That's going to be 866-870-5752. Once again, 866-870-5752.
All right. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Jeff,
Jimmy, and Mark
from Gunslinger Gun Shop and Auction. I believe in every American's right to bear arms and to protect themselves and their family. And I also believe in gun safety and getting the best possible advice on firearms.
No spandex, please. Yeah, that's Kirk. No spandex, please. I even got.
I didn't say spandex. I said,
Yes.
I said neoprene.
And it looks like Rick, who we're going to have a phone, it jumped on here as well. He's on the Facebook. Thank you so much. And Doug, always good to see you. Everyone chiming in. I love to see it. Love to hear it. We're going to be more active during these breaks, too. So if you guys don't stop in there.
Yeah, give us questions and we will answer them on the breaks. Yeah.
Or if you guys have anything to do with the topic tonight, go ahead and start putting them in. I'll start jotting them down
you
with
start
your
reading
names.
them off.
I'll shout you out.
This should be fun. We should have some fun with it.
Yeah. And Rumble, I forgot about you guys. I don't forget about you. Jake Reno's on there. Mark. Old Bart.
Rhythm. Can't tell. Put on a little makeup. Make sure they get your good side. Tuck in your throat. I don't remember the words. Pound note. Got that one. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on. You know that was Billy Crystal all along? There really is no Adamant. It was Billy Crystal.
All Billy
along.
Crystal.
All right, let's get over to our friend Rick. How are you?
Hey, good to hear you guys.
Good to hear
Rick.
you, Rick. How was your week?
It's been a fantastic week. Got really great news on my wife's cancer treatment, so I'm in a very, very good mood. And that's even though I have to go back for the last week before recess of the children in Sacramento. So couple things. We have several bills coming up, and this I think is a really good way for everybody to know kind of some of the background that, Jeff, you and I talk about how the games they play. So this will give you guys an idea. So when we have testimony happens in a room. You have to go through security checkpoints. They are not easy. They are worse than TSA. They are long. There's no way to cut through. You can't buy some, kind of clear things so you can get through faster like you can some airports. And literally two sets of the places where we meet. One is in the old Capitol building. The other one is what they call the swing space, which literally sits a half a mile away from the Capitol. So, you're crossing streets, traffic lights. So here we go. On Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning, we have over in the swing space, we have a meeting in public safety on the firearms barrels. That's Senate Bill 704, where they're trying to, as you know, Jeff, do something that can't even happen right now, which is have the feds run serial numbers when they don't have a system and we don't have serial numbers on barrels. So kind of a dumb bill, but they're doing it anyways. At 9 a.m., so that's a half hour and realize that's not the first bill. So if I'm stuck in that room, I'm supposed to make it over to Assembly Water Parks and Wildlife Conservation Fund, which is, in the Capitol building. So they run the half mile to get over there to work on a wildlife bill. But at the same time, in Senate Public Safety, which is back in the other building at 9 o'clock, is the firearms prohibitions to minors that would block kids that did dumb things that all of us on this show have done when we were kids, but it would stop them from being able to buy a firearm until they're 30 and basically ruin any number of careers for them. And then at 9:30, back over in the Capitol building are both the Ghost Gun Bill 1263 with Gibson and the Glock Ban Bill at 1127. And none of those we know exactly when they're going to go. That's when the meetings open up, but those could be at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's a day of running back and forth between buildings. And this is not done by accident.
Of course not. Scramble you. Do you have an e-scooter or like a Star Trek transporter?
Nope.
Where's that teleporter at?
Man,
I have tennis shoes, so
unbelievable.
A couple pairs I could probably think, huh?
yeah, I usually go through. Actually, Jimmy, I usually go through a good pair to a pair and a half every session. So yeah,
Not surprised. Absolutely not
Honestly.
surprised.
But I also put something out. So I put out a newsletter. I know, Jeff, you get it, that talks about the different bills. And I put something out because I've really noticed going out to a lot of places, people say, oh, I'm a patriot. And I'm not saying this to upset anybody, but, you know, if you realize what Jeff and I and everybody on this show has talked about, there is over 8 million of you out there who own firearms.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to put this in really simple terms that, you know, we know that most of them don't come together because the number is more than enough to sway any election, including the gubernatorial in this state, in our favor. But from gun shows, auctions to the counters of federal firearms dealers, I know you've heard this, Jeff, from kitchen counters to tailgates, from the range to the field, we hear these are 3 reasons people don't vote. I don't vote because it doesn't count. I don't vote because I don't want to do jury duty, and I don't have the time to vote. And I ask you, if you've ever said those, are those the words of a patriot?
Come on.
Because I would answer, they're not.
Thank you, sir.
But moreover, everybody complains about the prices. I want you to think about it. If every gun owner just gave $2, just $2, we would have $16 million to fight elections here in California. That would make us a juggernaut in this state.
Yep.
Or if everybody only donated 50 cents, every gun owner, 50 cents, that's nothing. We'd have over $4 million to fight bad legislation. But none of that happens because less than 5% of all gun owners engage this community. And engaging doesn't necessarily mean donating or doing anything else. They at least listen.
Yeah.
These words need to be said.
My
and heard.
point is, for those of you listening, those of you on the show, great. Thank you very much. You've done the first step. But we got to come out of the closet and we got to start talking to people, and we got to do it fast because we have a great opportunity right now. We're winning in the courts. We're winning in the legislation. We're stopping bad stuff. We just need to get some more votes in there, and that happens with the people rising up and voting. And so just need you guys to start really doing that because we can restore our rights. If you already look at the places where we flip seats, we've done incredible work this year, and we need to build on that momentum.
Yep.
Jeff, you reiterated this numerous times. We have to stop being this silent majority.
Yep.
We have voices.
It's not working.
We have the pride to be able to protect ourselves and our families. We should be able to vote and donate when it comes to these things because we have to. We can't. You can't do it alone, Rick. I understand this. You need the support of this community that you're helping and providing for. So,
In other words, get off your butts, go vote.
please, folks, and donate. We need to help out. Who's helping us, folks?
Yeah.
This is not, if like Rick said, if 50 cents can help us from all of us, can help out that much more, then why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so people understand. You know, I had a guy get pretty argumentative with me on Friday night, and he said it takes millions of dollars. And I said, no, it doesn't. I mean, you can look in one of the communities where this show is heard. We had Leticia Castillo with less than $90,000 beat a very well-seasoned candidate and a family, a political dynasty, the Cervantes family, who put in $1.6 million to her $90,000, and she beat her by just about 600 votes.
Well,
and got in.
And it didn't Harris spend $1 billion on the presidency?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how'd that work out for her?
People get tired of failed policies, and we need to ride that particular wave.
We need to support
and
the
boy,
people.
how easy is patriotism? Hey, here's a check for $1.
Yeah,
I'll take a few moments out and fill out my ballot.
Yeah, these words need to be heard. So, Rick, real fast, I did get a question. Actually, just wanted to see if you can comment on AB 2571. It looks as if I have Mark over here. What do you comment on? Let me see.
I can comment on it.
Go ahead.
That'd be wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. So 2571 was the bill that the governor 3 years ago ramrodded through, which was supposed to be to remove, quote, Joe Camel from advertising guns. to minors.
Oh, yes.
In reality, what it was designed to do was destroy the next generation of firearms enthusiasts, competitive shooters, etc. And what it did was it made it so, like, if Jeff wanted to go advertise to some kids about mounted shooting or doing a cowboy action shooting, every single flyer that Jeff put out there that could have been picked up by a kid would be a $25,000 fine.
Whoa.
If you're a major university and you were sending an email, a letter, and a flyer encouraging them to come shoot, oh, that's encouraging firearms. Yep, $25,000 a piece. So as a result, we had universities pull apart. We had all these things. And what happened was we took that to the federal court. We won. The state appealed. It went to a 3-judge panel that we were not confident in because they were appointed by Democratic presidents that tended to have a not so favorable view of the Second Amendment. And the 3-judge panel in the most liberal court system in the country, in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, said to the state of California, you crossed way too many bridges. You violated the First Amendment several ways. You violated the Second Amendment. You're not allowed to do this. This is absolutely grotesque overreach, and told them off. And so now we're going to wait to see what they're doing. And they've been reluctant to go for the en banc panel, which is 11 judges, which there's an argument that the government has a little bit more control of who sits on that bench for it. But they've been a little reluctant because the Supreme Court, it looks like it's going to take Duncan. We assume it's going to take Duncan v. Bonta. And that's a case that went up and down and went back up again. Mm-hmm. And the state did not push for the en banc when, for a second time, the Ninth Circuit 3-judge panel told them they were wrong. So we're going there. I did see one of your people online was talking about, we need a bill to find the authors of bogus bills. Everybody, I couldn't agree more. The problem is that would take a resolution of the people of California, because several years ago the Democrats hoodwinked the people of California with a proposition that defends them and protects them.
Yeah.
And so that's why we need to fight this way.
And it was really important what you said, I believe it's just last week, about the opportunities that you give the young folks and the people going into college for opportunities that not just the able-bodied, but the disabled, all these different things. You give them the opportunity to reach these scholastic heights that everyone else kind of takes for granted. And I think those words that you said were really prevalent. There you go. These words don't work all the time. But no, we created a clip, and I hope everyone gets to see that, because you said so many powerful things for all to hear, and especially the youth. So, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I wanted to let Jeff know, a good friend of yours and mine, who does another podcast that I won't mention the name of it, but I had him up to your store. He is leading a charge on the CCWs to lower the training statewide to about $175.
Nice.
Whether it's the 8 or 16-hour class, to force a lot of these other trainers and these other entities to lower the price or get out of the marketplace. So
that's wonderful.
I think this is going to be good. I think it'd be cool for you to meet up with him again, because you seemed to get along the last time you guys were together.
Anytime you want.
This is going. Yeah, this would be a great catalyst. So,
and you can mention it was Gun Guy TV.
That's very
yeah. Joel Persinger. So
imagine democratizing personal defense.
Yeah. Okay, Rick, we're almost out of time. Anybody wants to donate?
CRPA.
Go ahead.
Yeah, CRPA.org. And if they have a question, contact at CRPA.org. And if you haven't joined CRPA, join us. And Jeff, Jimmy, your entire team, I just thank you. And Mark, just thank you so much for everything you guys do and for supporting us.
Well, and most importantly, are we still going to lunch on Wednesday?
Yes.
Well, thank you,
Everybody
Rick.
heard it.
Yeah,
God bless you, and all our prayers to the missus.
All right, Rick. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love that guy.
All right, that's Rick from the CRPA. You heard it, guys. $2 for every gun owner in California alone. Just California.
Come on.
That's less than the amount it costs you to get the background check to buy ammunition.
Yeah, it's actually
so if you'd spend
less
that
than
money,
half.
Yeah, if you'd spend that money, you wouldn't have to spend more money. It's a worthwhile investment.
All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio
we
Network.
Got a pile of phone calls.
Let's
we'll get
go.
to you guys as soon as we get back.
Powerful segment, guys. Look at that. That's amazing.
Man, I'm glad to hear about his wife too. I know that has been
That's been
as it would for anyone.
Real
Right?
You guys
scary
listening, make sure you're still praying. You kind of had it under wraps for a bit, but now we know what's going on. Please put your prayers together and get them out there for him. But everyone else, I'm sorry, I got cut off for telling everyone on Rumble. We got Concern and Base. Mr. Enigma, thank you for always sticking with us. You even with your move and all, you stuck with us, and love to see you in there. Robert, well, Max is also on. We got a couple people that watch us on different streams, and I do appreciate that.
And we're bopping back and forth between them,
Jeff.
splitting screens, and that's what's going on. By the way, when you see us looking intently down there, everybody's got a job here, and when you see us looking down, we're trying to keep up with the live feeds for you.
Ron, great seeing you. I know you're in there. The bunch of different. We got Jeff over there on YouTube. Bunch of Roberts on
me.
there. No, but thank you guys. Fred, always great to have you. God bless you guys. Eric's on there, but no, thank you guys. Make sure that we're donating. If you again, like Rick says, 50 cents. It's what you can provide.
literally if 8 million people, if $2 each, and we would bury the left.
So it's just gonna.
But no, sit on your couch, do nothing, and complain.
And we know you guys, especially the viewers and the listeners of this show, want to help. You guys know that this is within you and you want to. So just let it go and go ahead and just get in there. It's time to stop being the silent majority.
And I don't want to play this card. I don't want to play the patriot card, but patriotism has got to extend to more than strongly holding an opinion.
Yeah.
And sharing it with your wife or her husband or loved ones. You got to. Sorry, guys. They're organized. They're a machine, and we have to be willing to cooperate, coordinate, and push back.
People come into the gun shop all the time, and I have to explain things like, well, it was $1 for the background check for ammo, but now it's $5. And I said,
what?
Yeah, and they go, what are they going to do to us next?
What do you say every time?
Yeah, anything they want, because you're not doing anything about it.
It shouldn't be 5, and what's to keep them from making it 25 or 75? Mm-hmm. Because that's that death by 1,000 cuts that the left delights in doing, just throwing another log on the highway of our stately ordered legal process.
Well, they're like a lot of people have said, they've been boiling the frog. So every couple of minutes, it's just the heat's increasing. We're not feeling it because we've let them do it for so long, folks. It's time to sit there and jump out of this pot and start cooking them because it's gone too far. They're just taking it like we said, death by 1,000 cuts, boiling the frog. Little by little, they're going to still continue to try. We need to make a stand, and we need to support the people that are doing the standing for us too.
Because when they do. We're winning.
Yeah. Winning. They've been brainwashing us for a long time.
Mm-hmm. As one of my favorite professors says, when free men stand, empires tremble.
I know when to go out. I know when to stay in. Get things done.
You got that voice down.
I catch a paper, boy. But things don't really change. I'm standing in the rain, but I never wave bye-bye. But I try. Welcome back. I love that song.
But how much do those lyrics mean right now? Like I catch the paper boy and nothing seems to change.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
No
These lyrics are timeless, let's say. Come on. Let's be the change.
Let's get, as promised, to Mark Inventor. Mark, what can we do for you?
Good evening, Mark.
Hey, guys. I think Rick has left, but he mentioned an inkling something about Glock. I had a friend, coincidentally, he may have met Rick at the Elks Lodge in Ventura, because my friend went there to figure out how to join the Ojai Gun Club, and he said he met somebody from CRPA, may have been Rick, but is it true that they're trying to remove Glock from the California roster to get rid of it? Because some criminal could potentially turn it into a fully automatic handgun?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
And don't tell anybody, but any semi-automatic, you can do that too. You
can turn a toaster into a bomb.
Yeah.
Well, the criminal element's going to do what they want to do, regardless.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
My other thing was, why people don't get involved? I was raised in communism as a little kid. Came to freedom legally, vetted for almost 2 years. My dad was anti-communist. He passed away this past December. But I won't mention the store's name, but I'll mention Tina Turner, and you know who I'm talking about. So I've noticed at the counter, anybody that came to buy ammunition, so that gun you have is still registered at that address, and I've heard it over and over. Like, it's backdoor registration. It's a backdoor list. Why are they asking that question? Also, legally, I was able to buy stuff, many things. Now I had to cancel a order of $5,000, which included the $800 extortion tax, so that's $4,200, because they did not like my middle initial, which is on one paperwork, but it's not on the other paperwork. So I got a call a few days later from the Tina Turner Club, and I had to go and cancel the whole order. What's up with that? And they know me. They know me by first name, same car, same address, same registration. Been there before, done business with them before many times. And I think that's why people are not getting involved, because they maybe are seeing, and maybe people like me from Eastern European countries, they make a list and then they come and they finish you eventually somehow.
Yeah, I can't make any kind of a comment on what's going on with you in another store for many reasons, but who knows? They are a large conglomerate, and their number one rule is to cover their butts, and so I don't know, but I do know that
it's just the middle initial. It's just the middle initial,
and I do know that DOJ are sticklers for this kind of thing, and they are going after people. How do you put this politely? With fangs?
Yeah.
I mean, we had a DOJ audit back in, I think it was May, and it was 4 days, I think, and the stuff, the picayune things that they were trying to,
because they can,
trying to nail me on. And the scary part is I believe it's next year, FFLs are going to be opened up to fines for these picayune little things. Oh, you didn't put his full initial, or he's missing half a thumbprint, and they're going to be able to fine me for stuff like this. So, and this is all because of why? Because people don't get up and vote these people out of office.
So the people that are afraid to participate because they're afraid they're being tracked, this is what happens when you don't. This is why you should.
Yeah.
Because we do have that Constitution to protect us.
When Moses left, I believe 70% decided to stay as slaves as opposed to the unknown, and that's kind of the mentality that we've gotten here.
Yeah.
It could be ingrained. Like, my dad witnessed his father's brother, the communists came, and I will not say the officer because I'll be accused of being an anti-termite, and you know what that means. They took the guy, looked at his hands. They're not worn down enough by physical labor, so you're the enemy. They tore him apart by 2 horses. My dad, at 6 years old, witnessed that, and his sister. Wow. So people coming from Eastern Europe, I don't think Americans have a clue.
No.
Like, they put you on a list, and they come get you in the middle of the night, which was December of 1940, and they rip you in two with horses.
Wow.
So people who went through that kind of experience, I understand you. We have Constitution, stand up. But there's people that did stand up, and this is what ended up happening, and they don't even teach about this stuff in the history.
No. Entitlement is America's worst pair of blinders.
You want to know how brainwashed we are? When you get your check at the end of the week, you just look at the taxes and go, ugh, and then you just go on.
Cash what's left.
Do you want to know the fastest way you could have an immediate revolution in this country? Every employer across the nation, just give the person their check and say, pay your taxes yourself.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I got $1,600 in my hand, and now I got to give you $9?
Come on.
Watch how fast things change if that happened. Anyway,
or a draft, or a mandatory draft of some kind.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream, but I'm telling you, if people could get off their couches, stop watching their TV, be it Fox News or CNN, whatever, and start going out and
pay attention to your actual life going on and what's happening to you.
Yeah,
in
I don't
reality.
watch TV for many years now, and I read
Good on you.
I read books.
I got to admit, I do watch TV, but mostly it's me TV because I love Leave It to Beaver. Yeah, the Rifleman, Leave It to Beaver. It's my favorite stuff. Anyway, Mark, we got to go. Thanks for the call.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate taking my call.
You bet. Take
Good
care.
call, good reminder.
And that's a big thing, is that what he mentions is that the bureaucracy has gotten out of hand for things like this. When you have documentation showing that you are you, and that and now they're again going to turn it back onto the FFLs, onto the buyers and sellers.
Well, yeah, and what they're doing here is they're going to try and shut us down through this.
Yeah, and
because they're going to make it so much. You didn't put a middle initial here, $1,500, and they're going to, and the little guys aren't going to be able to afford that, and the next thing you know, they'll be gone, and that's less places that you guys are going to be able to buy your guns.
And as meticulous as you can be on that paperwork on either ends, on the buyer and the seller, they're going to find something. Well, there's going to be a scribble.
None of you people out there that are listening, well, very few, have ever been through one of these DOJ or ATF's a different story, but these DOJ audits. They come in and they go through your stuff with a fine-tooth comb. They make sure they got me. You ready for this? On the back of our tags, the for sale tags. In my case, it's the auction tags. They changed the number by one digit for the phone number for the suicide hotline, and they nailed me for that because it was off one number. It wasn't off on the American written one; it was off on the Spanish written one.
Numbers are numbers.
I got in trouble for that, guys.
And even the kind of warnings that you have to put up signs to let people know about the different laws and changes and the warnings you have to put up. And are you supposed to get them yourselves? Are they going to provide those to you when they update it?
No, I have to get them myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when things change, and I guess we like to say that ignorance doesn't excuse you from the law or not, but if they're not giving you or letting you know that these are the new ones, you have to until it's too late.
Yeah. Well,
what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and they do send out bulletins, but they read like Chinese stereo instructions.
Oh, upside down and backwards.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, what?
And in a steady, ongoing stream.
We have John and Annie that work for us. John is a lawyer, and Annie is a paralegal. And I give them that, and they're like, what?
Is this mean?
Yeah.
I speak this language and I still don't know what they're saying.
I got a question for you.
They speak French and Spanish. Go ahead.
Right, that's not enough. You don't speak bureaucratese. We have a question from Fred who would like to know, the Rifleman, love that show. Just curious, what kind of rifle does he use on that show?
He uses a Winchester 1892.
Now, this show takes place in 1888, right?
I think it's actually earlier than that. I think it's because Lucas fought in the Civil War. They
that's
say
right.
That
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So that should be the early 1870s.
Wait, I don't want to play our hand too soon because we're going to be doing this about faux pas in the movie industry. But boy, that's one of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, God bless him. The Duke always used a Model 92, no matter what movie.
No matter Civil War.
Yeah. So there is that.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah, definitely. He must have been a heck of a gunsmith. Let's see. I don't think we have time to get to a. What do we got left? Okay, let's try it. Let's get to Sean in LA. Sean, what can we do for you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
I really enjoy your program. I just want to ask Mark, what's going on with the gun store, American Gunworks, that used to be on Gunworks?
American Gunworks, the property was sold. The gun store closed down. The owner has moved to a state on the eastern seaboard. One of his workers is going to be opening a store in Glendale in several weeks. That's all I can tell you at this time. But American Gunworks is gone.
Yeah, they closed down.
You got some of the stuff.
I know that, but he told me after July 4th, but I guess that he needs more time. So anyway, hey, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, man. This has been a busy first 3/4 of the first hour. But,
What? We just got here.
Well, and you know what? We've got lines open now because we didn't there for a few minutes. What's the number?
That's going to be 866-870-5752. Once again, 866-870-5752.
Yeah, give us a call. Let us know what movie or TV show you watched that where you just went, that is the dumbest shot I've ever
I
seen.
can't wait. I got some good ones.
Or the best.
Yeah, we want to do
Right?
both.
If there's something with really quality firearms handling, we'd love to hear about it and encourage it.
Please.
Because let me tell
Man,
you.
there's a lot of horkers out
I
there.
don't know where they get their gun experts in, but even some of my favorite shows, there's spots where I just go, oh, come on.
We've seen documentaries,
Well,
and we've spotted a few there.
yeah,
so.
and well, usually they're docudramas these days anyway. All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we got a couple of guys, Scott and Ed, both from Nevada. We'll get to you guys
Let's
right
go.
after this. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yep.
Oh, great song, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My contribution, the TV show SWAT, the newest version, did a ricochet shot off a manhole cover and hit somebody. I shit you not, he bounced it.
Yeah, that's...
Off a manhole cover and hit the guy right here in the throat.
Get him right in the side pocket?
Nope, hit him right here. Perfect back shot, right?
Perfect.
Of course, you know, we all know manhole covers are smooth as glass.
Oh, yeah.
There's no writing and raised letters and...
Yeah.
No rivets in there whatsoever.
Did Hondo just bounce a bullet? I think so. It was classic. So there's my contribution for the worst.
All right.
Everybody all together, that's
.com. Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. Well, mostly the left, but that's another story. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
All right, and as promised, let's get back to the phones. Let's see who was first. They almost called immediately at the same time. Let's go with Ed in Nevada. Ed, what can we do for you?
Evening, Ed.
Yeah, I noticed on a Southern California TV website that a Colt M4 assault-style rifle and 5 30-round magazines fell out of the trunk of a Los Angeles sheriff's deputy's vehicle, patrol vehicle. Yeah, so you wonder how they have them secured. I usually have mine kind of locked in a box or something.
Well,
I mean,
that ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the motor officers with AR-15s on the motorcycle?
Yeah, on the bike itself.
Just kind of out there in the wind and the rain.
And keep in mind, these police officers can carry that gun on duty, but they can't have that gun off duty.
They can't even own it.
Yeah. It seemed to imply that it was in a patrol vehicle. Like here in Nevada, I see the highway patrol. They have some rifle. Some of their motorcycles have a rifle pointing up into the air in the back, not like sort of scabbards, but like some kind of a rifle, sticking up in the back, which I could see. If there was some trouble situations, you can get a motorcycle in a lot easier in a patrol car, and that sort of thing. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because, you never know, someone might see something like a range or something, they're looking for it according to the KTLA TV website. And the other quick question I had, I used to have some of these 12-gauge shot shells with the rubber ball, instead of lead. Do they still sell those?
I believe
I have seen them.
Yeah,
yes.
I believe they do. They're a little harder for the public to get than they are police force. Just like the bean bags.
You can't get beanbags.
Yeah, you can't get those. But I'm sure if you look around, you could probably find them. I mean, they're outside of California. You can get
they
lots
were
of
on
stuff.
a bargain table at a gun shop. They were trying to get rid of them up here, but I used them up. But they'd pack a wall up. I mean,
I would think so.
I knocked a there was a TV on a table at a desert shooting area like 30 feet away, and it knocked the TV onto the ground. So I mean, it's definitely going to be lethal in a lot of situations.
Sure.
Well, anyway, keep up the good work. People should keep an eye out for that Colt M4. But you never know. We had a sheriff leave their gun in the bathroom up here in Nye County once.
That happens with some regularity.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Ed.
It was very controversial. All right, well, have a good one.
Okay, take care. I'll say it since he's gone.
Yeah.
Assault is an action.
Not a
rifle is an inanimate object.
Yes.
Okay. That just drives me nuts. Assault rifle. No, that's the guy that has the little thing that you shoot bugs with salt. That's what that is. It's an assault rifle. Yeah.
That's a assault rifle.
Yeah, it's the only one I know of. Anyway, all right. So, really quick, let's get another commercial in for the auction. September 13th, guys. This is coming up. A minute ago it was, it's all the way in the end of the summer.
Literally, we joke about that.
And it's literally, it's 2 months from today.
Catalog will be out in about a month now.
Yeah, catalog will be out in about a month. We've got, I know the describers are well over half done with it, and little Blake has been working his butt off getting pictures, and we're going to have new guy James got to start doing pictures this week, so we should be getting caught up with that. But man, we've got some stuff in this auction that is just going to knock your socks off. We got in a Colt Single Action Army Roy Rogers commemorative. Ooh. Fully engraved, gold washed, beautiful mother of pearl grips. Ooh. This thing is just to knock your socks off. And the serial number is 5.
Oh, and
5.
We know that there are a few people in our auction that look for things exactly like that.
Well,
so
our friends from the Vegas area who come out when we used to do when we used to sell stuff for Happy Trail Children's Foundation.
Yeah.
And the last one of these we got a bidding war with 3 different people.
It was so good.
And
love that stuff.
We estimated it from 3,000 to 5,000, and it went for like it went for like 22,000.
It went over 20. I remember.
Yeah,
that was pretty exciting.
It was because and I'm just saying, I got 14, got 15, got 16, got 17, got to be 18, 18 got to be 19.
You're not going to let it win, are you?
Yeah,
they weren't even putting down their paddles. They were just waiting.
Yeah, it was just hands up in the air.
Good.
It was a lot of fun, and we thank you guys for that. And of course, Happy Trails thanks you too, because
they're the ones who benefit.
Yeah,
right?
they benefited big time from that stuff. So,
that's so cool.
And let's see, we've got. I mentioned last week we've got some Socko rifles. We took in a grade 5 engraved Weatherby Mark V with the German engraved stock, with all that super fancy carving in the stock. We took that in. Man, it's just coming out of the woodwork, and it's just like, wow. We've got...
you got that long range stuff, right?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of those. The ones from England, I can never...
Accurate Arms
International. Accurate Arms International. We've got them in, I think, 338 Lapua, 300 Win Mag. We've got that one in 375 Shade Tack. Yeah, that gun weighs about 35 pounds.
You want it to offset the recoil.
Yeah, that's going to take
tack driver at 2,000 yards.
This comes with a ton of ammo. That ammo is $15 a round. And it comes with a few hundred rounds. It comes with some primed brass. Get this, the primer for this brass is large rifle primer. It's not because the casing itself is based off of the 50 BMG, but it's been necked down. But
the cases, they've gone to the smaller
Yeah,
So you can prime them normally.
You don't have to get that Godzilla-sized 50 BMG primer that you can't find anywhere. This is just standard large rifle primer.
That was a good move.
It also comes with the Dillon Big Boy reloader.
With the press necessary for doing it?
The gargantuan.
Because that cartridge is physical.
That alone, it's going to...
That's $2,000. For that machine. This comes with the dies.
So this is the whole long range starter kit.
Yeah, and
finisher kit.
This is it goes out to 2 miles. This round will literally go out to 2 miles. It's got a U.S. optics. It's like a $3,500 scope
Top
on it.
of the line stuff.
And it's got the gig bag.
Oh yeah, you were saying
that opens up so you can lay down on top of it to shoot. It's got the bipod on it. I think the bipod is $800 by the company. The gun itself, new in black, is $9,200. This is in the FDE,
flat dark earth.
Yeah, flat dark earth color. So oh man, what a kit! And it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Somebody's going to have a good time.
Yeah, lots of stuff. We got 1911s from World War II era and earlier.
The coolness of that is just off the charts.
Of course, we always get a ton of Smith & Wessons. I believe I saw one Model 41. You guys may have to bid against me for that.
Oh, you need another.
I don't. 26 is my lucky number.
Any matchlocks? Asking for a friend.
No matchlocks this time.
Merwin and Hulbert? Come on.
No.
Listen up.
The Merwin and Hulbert is such a cool gun, but it's not.
They didn't make many of them for starters.
And I haven't seen one for a while. I tell you one thing we did get in that's absolutely gorgeous. We got in a Mauser C96 in original 98% condition.
Wow.
Oh, it gets better. With the matching numbered stock.
Ooh. There simply cannot be many of those on Earth.
Yeah,
matching stock.
Matching stock. The number is in the metal. It's on the tang. And it matches the gun.
For those of you unaware of what the C96 is, it's a very early semi-automatic pistol. You'd recognize it if you ever saw any movie
the
about
broom handle.
The Mexican Revolution or anything.
Or if you ever watched the original Star Wars.
If you watch Star Wars, that's the Han Solo blaster.
Yep. And we got one in, and I'm not kidding. It's untouched, original in 98%, absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, that doesn't even.
It's even got the leather around the holster / stock.
Yeah.
So
there's a little sheath that.
Yeah, they keep this in a glass case inside of a safe.
I don't
inside
know.
of a whale. What's going on here?
The same gentleman brought us a Walther P38. Serial number is 2-digit with a J.
Boo.
So, I mean, it's just, this is the kind of stuff that we're getting, and it's just unbelievable. I can't wait, because I can't wait to see what some of this goes for.
I mean, just to be able to look at something in that type of condition, that's going to bring a lot of eyes.
And again, if you got stuff that you want to get it in soon, because September, I think, we're pretty much done now. Yeah. But September, as of this week, we're just about halfway full, and we've got a collection that's supposed to come in next week.
For December, yes.
Yeah, and that's going to be over 100 guns, just that collection. So
speaking of, if we're going at this rate, by the time this next auction does hit, December will be almost full already, folks. Yeah. So make sure that you're getting them in before the end of this season, because next season you don't know if you're going to have to wait until 2026 to get your guns in.
Yeah,
or start saving your shekels, because the next auction is coming up in September.
Yeah, so we lost our Vegas guy, the other Las Vegas guy. If you're listening, call back. I promise. It's just because we went long with the other Vegas guy, so we didn't have enough time to give you, and I wanted to get
make sure that you have enough time to get your point across.
And again, now we have lines open. What's the number, Jimmy?
You guys are going to want to call in once again for our second power-packed hour. That's going to be 866-870-5752. Once again, 866-870-5752. And
again, when we get back with our second
power
packed hour, it's phone calls. Give us a call. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah. So we've already got a couple. I'm taking down notes for the people that are putting up stuff for
Questions.
questions and some of the movie stuff already.
Oh yeah, we got some good ones.
Yeah, so I'm writing them down. So keep posting them up there, guys. I'll try to get as many as I can down, or keep the comments coming. One question we did get, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty simple one. It was about background checks on ammo. With the CCW, you still have to pay the
fine.
Absolutely.
So yes, just in
no
case.
breaks.
No breaks for nobody.
Yep.
The silliness of this, I can't think of a better example of the silliness than the point that you made about a police officer carrying a Colt semi-automatic rifle in his patrol car, but he can't. But at the minute he's done with work, he can't have one at home.
No.
Because they've gone from that useful tool to incredibly dangerously lethal or something.
Yeah.
Again, you can't look for logic, but I can't think of a better example of the silliness. Yeah, but we need some sillinesses, guys. If you ain't going to call in, hook us up. We got some fun ones.
We got 5 lines lit up.
Nice.
I hope the guy from Vegas calls back, because
we like Vegas.
Yeah.
Kirk, I'm getting yours down right now. Try to get as many of these on air as we can. Make sure you keep on running them in. He's got one every which way but loose.
Hey, are you fucking with Clint Eastwood here?
No, he's got Philo Bedo.
Philo Bedo.
Philo.
Philo Bedo.
PH always makes me want to do like Philippines. Philo.
That would be Pilo, wouldn't it?
Do you have Philo dough?
Filipino. I'm Filipino.
Filipino say puck.
What the fuck is your problem, huh? The thing I used to remember.
You are such a citizen of the world.
My grandmother used to, the one thing that sticks to me is, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to watch MacGyver on Channel 5. Every freaking time. It was like, you couldn't get more P's or B's inside your sentence if you tried. MacGyver.
My guy bear.
That's my guy bear.
A paper clip, a Swiss Army knife, and a sheet of tinfoil.
What's that?
I built a time machine using a paper clip, a Swiss Army knife, and a piece of tinfoil.
Watch him get through like a laser trap with like decorations that he like like a light tube and stuff to make it bend all crazy. I was like, as soon as you put it there, you've already messed up the refraction of whatever's going to go on. It's not going to go directly back.
Fiber optic stuff. Yeah, we're going to do the faux pas on electronics because computer hackers and stuff like that.
I have 2 baddies that are just unforgivable, and then it was harder to pick a good one than it was a bad one.
Honestly, we had Pete Sherayko. Hey, guys, if you missed last week, we had Pete Sherayko on. He's doing a book on firearms safety, which is well past due.
Yeah.
Firearms safety, especially in the films. And he has always gone out of his way to make sure that the weapons are correct, the accoutrements are correct, that sort of thing. So when we see how many bad things there are and how few really, really great examples of good firearms handling there are, it's a little bit chilling. It's a little bit chilling. But they're I don't know, they're actors. But this really does become a don't try it at home, kids.
Yes.
No, guns don't do that.
Our show's half over already. We're going to have to blister through a few phone calls here. We have Tom in Brentwood. He wants to talk about I don't know how hip I am to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we were just talking about the neck down or
I don't know.
gamuts.
I don't know. I don't want to,
Well, without getting to a lengthy.
Yeah, I don't want to have anybody say anything bad.
Yes.
Do 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 do. So all of my picks are from what you could almost consider comedies at times, but there are some things that are just that always stuck in my mind about firearms when I used to watch them as a kid. I'm like, even as a kid, that seems questionable. So I have some fun ones.
Guys shooting guys out of trees on highway patrol at 180 yards of the 2-inch 38.
Some real fun. Maybe nothing as intricate, but as silly.
We're calling it Happening Now. And that's exactly what it's all about. Join me with Amir Sarfati. He's a major in the Israeli Defense Force, as well as founder of Behold Israel.
All right, guys. Thank you for everyone for sticking with us for this next one. Using laptop here. Yeah, and again, if any of the streams are giving you problems, try out another one. I see that OB, Old Bark over there on Rumble's having a little trouble, but it seems like everyone else is all right. But if you want to, make sure you're jumping on any of the other ones on YouTube or on Facebook. Look at this. Look at this.
Hey, 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 hey! Ooh! Don't you forget. I don't remember the damn words. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
Okay, really quick, and then we're going to get to Tom in Brentwood. Worst thing ever. It's an Angelina Jolie movie where they make bullets go.
Wanted?
You know what?
I think it was called Wanted.
I don't know.
They bend the bullets.
Yes. And
snaps the rest, the bullets go around the corner.
Forget about it. There's nothing worse.
Learn how to curve a bullet. Come on.
Yeah, folks. that you can't beat that.
That might be the worst.
Yeah, you just can't beat that.
Let me try. Okay.
Well, but let me try.
From dusk till dawn.
Okay, now first of all, you gotta love a vampire movie, right?
You gotta love it,
especially if it's got Selma dancing.
The character Sex Machine has
that belt buckle.
Not even a belt buckle. It was like a chastity belt, but the cylinders were pretty much his testes, and the barrel kind of manufactured as and he would fire from there.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No,
the recoil.
No, oh man, when you say you're packing, you must be really packing.
That gives up every one of the Ambushers movies or any of this terrible spy flicks where the girls would have a bra that somehow
bing 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 bing
would be in like multiple rounds.
The fembots. Yeah.
Fembots.
All right, let's get to Tom in Brentwood. Tom, what can we do for you?
Gentlemen, first, I went to Turner's in Reseda, and I was informed that they're still operating on the 1 and 30. And then I went to Pasadena Turner's, and they were willing to sell more than one gun. So how can the city of L.A., which is Reseda, just ignore the ruling of the circuit court?
Honestly, I don't know.
They have their own. Have they issued some sort of ukays on their own part, a city ordinance? Because within certain limited parameters, they can do that. But boy, this is a little over my pay scale.
Yeah, honestly, it's got to be that particular city has something special because I can tell you one thing about that chain, and they are up to date. So,
right,
I mean,
I asked them, and they said, they said it's city, and until somebody sues the city. But West Hollywood tried to ban firearms outright, and they got shut down. So just because LA decides that they want to make it to keep it, I mean, they just ignore a circuit court. It's incredible.
Well, welcome to Los Angeles. I mean, where the left does whatever the hell they want,
Can't put water, everything except put water in reservoirs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, well, and let's tear a few of those down while we're at it. Yeah, honestly, it's
that'd be a fun one for us to ask Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. And one other thing, what's the legality of concealed carry on a Byrna?
Byrna's a non-gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah,
the public nuisance. if it looks like a gun, you could be prosecuted for public nuisance.
Yeah, and then again, anything you have concealed, a pocket knife, if somebody wants to give you a, agita, they're going to do it. So that's a tough call. I mean, it really is a tough call. And you could get 10 different lawyers in here and 10 different police officers, and you're going to get 10 different answers from each one of them.
But we do know this: you don't want to be the test case.
Yeah.
No.
So
until we get until we get actual conscious gun laws in California where we have the ability to carry without having to have questions like that, better go on the side of caution.
And which would cost every gun owner in California $2.
Come on, guys.
It's so stupid, unbelievable.
Sign me up. I'll give you 4. How's that?
Hey,
you know what? You just
don't give it to me. Give it to the CRPA.
CRPA.
Yep. All righty.
Right.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Good questions.
All right, now I'm going to mangle this. It looks like it's Gerson. I'm sorry. It's spelled Gehren. How do you pronounce it?
Garen said.
Okay, there you go. What can we do for you?
Good evening. How we doing?
I am looking to buy my first gun.
Okay.
And my primary goal long term is to collect U.S. military firearms, and just because I think they would need a set of Winchester lever actions.
Well, it's a good goal.
Fun, easy, and not too expensive.
Yeah, and you're coming through really.
Yeah, can you get closer to the microphone, perhaps?
Let me try taking off my Bluetooth headphones.
Okay.
Better immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Is that better?
We want to hear you.
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay, so
All right.
you go ahead.
So, I've been looking at guns. I've sort of been thinking I want to get something in 30-06.
Okay, cool.
And I've been looking at the Browning BLRs.
Great gun.
But I keep hearing from a number of places online that when you're first learning to shoot, you need to worry about flinching, and you should start off with something lightweight, like a 22.
Honestly, to me, that's good advice, honestly.
So
Learn the craft inexpensively. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide, do I want to buy something in 22, which would be relatively inexpensive, $500-$600 new, or do I want to just buy the $1,300 Browning, and then I'll have a gun I'll be keeping for probably 10, 15 years at least?
Luckily for you, 22s, especially in a rifle.
You can buy one for less than $200.
Yeah, I mean, you can find a Ruger 1022 used for $149 and get them both at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2 guns, one for each other.
And it is always smart, especially if you haven't had the experience of firing, just to get your the motions down and to get
sights, target, trigger acquisition.
Yes, to get all the basics down before you start spending the big money in ammo and all that, and kind of wasting away.
Because let's be honest, you could get out there and find that this just isn't for you, and then you spend a ton of dough.
And Jimmy makes a good point. Here's one of the dirty little secrets. Anybody that's listening, cover your ears if you don't want to hear this. One of the dirty little secrets of firearms is you'll probably, if you enjoy shooting, you will spend more money on ammunition than you will on the firearm. And you could buy a box of 22 caliber ammunition for under $5, minus the stupid California registration fee. There is very little muzzle blast, very little recoil, and because it's inexpensive, you'll have a good time doing it. You'll be able to do it a lot. You spend $30 or $40 for a box of 20 30-06, the muzzle blast and the recoil, you fire 20 rounds and you're done at the range. Whereas for that same $30 and 22 caliber ammunition, you could go to the range 5 times and shoot all day.
Yeah, you can make every one of your 306s count for what you really want to do with it after you kind of get down the motions and you get yourself safe doing that way.
So we're not saying you can't, but you might consider walk, run, fly.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And there's no real issue if I start off with, I said the Ruger, and then move to a lever action.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Please.
In fact, I know this place is called Gunslinger Auctions where you could probably buy 5 or 6 guns all at once and then go have a blast.
Hey, see what you
BLR
did
is a
there.
cool rifle, by the way. Good
it
choice.
It really is, yeah. And, Winchester makes the 1895 and 30-06. That's another option to go if you want to go in that direction. You can get, if you want to scale that down a little bit, the Winchester Model 94, the majority of them come in 30-30, which is the same projectile pretty much as the 30-06, but a smaller case, so it's a little bit less recoil. They're a lot of fun and probably the most sold gun of all time.
Henry has started making a lever action rifle that's pretty slick in 30-06.
Yeah, so there's lots of choices in lever actions. You don't necessarily have to go with the BLR, and that's Browning Lever Rifle is what that stands for, guys. BLR. So there's lots of stuff, and I think you should probably you're in Santa Clarita, so you're a little bit of a ways. But wait till my catalog comes out in middle of next month, and you'll see all kinds of cool lever stuff.
You can grab them all at the same
and all
time.
kinds of we have a double 1022 Gatling set up. So there's a whole
here's an
passel
idea
of fun.
Get yourself a Henry 22 lever rifle. But you could do that for $300, $400, $500 tops.
Yeah,
and then
step up into the big boy. So, all righty.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you later. Take care now. Okay.
And just in case on this, when we jump in the next segment, if we're not bombarded with,
we are.
Okay,
we got a ton.
We're going to try to
keep it moving.
We're going to squeeze in a couple of your comments for the movies in this next segment, or following before the end of the show, folks. So we'll get to it. I promise.
All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network,
and we'll be back in just about a minute.
Yep.
We get Mark in Woodland Hills, Chris in L.A., Greg in San Diego, and Mike in El Segundo.
Good music today, by the way.
It's that 80s thing that I think of all the ones that I have put together, it's my favorite. That, was it Sweet Child of Mine?
Yes.
Absolutely love that song. And I'm not a big fan of Guns N' Roses, but that song is really good.
Mystery. We love the ladies here at the Gunslingers Radio Show.
And then old Bart commented on his, and the ladies love the boys. We love you guys. Thank you, Old Bark, Mr. Enigma. You guys, again,
here we go.
You guys make the show.
Yep. Love that back flap on the drums.
Moving forward, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I valved crashing all around your face, never really knowing it was always missionless. Welcome back, everybody. That's right. We're going to melt the world and what is it? Stop the world and melt it.
Melt the world and stop with you, folks.
August. Yeah. In Norco.
I don't know. I spent a week this morning in Lucerne Valley.
Lucerne Valley.
It was a little warm there. Let's get back to the phone.
Let's go.
See. Let's get to Christopher in LA. Christopher, what can we do for you?
Hey, Christopher, how are we doing?
Jeff, hello.
Hello.
I'm scared. I can't say that word. I'm scared. I just bought a 380.
Mm-hmm.
I called you a few weeks ago, and I carry it like that. What's that Quentin Tarantino movie, The True Romance?
True Romance?
He shoots Gary Oldman, but he keeps it right there. And then that old sheriff's deputy that called the tried and true. It's chrome, but I want to get some more training, learn how properly use it, properly store. I keep it in my by Roscoe and the boys. Can I say that? And moreover, which was a better United States military weapon to shoot, the M14 or the M16? And what happened to the M60? And it's getting hot.
Okay. Chris, I'm going to let you go, and I'll answer your questions real quick. Between the M16 and the M14, these are apples and donuts.
Horses for courses.
Yeah. The the civilian version, the M1A Springfield in 308, is one of my favorite. It's basically a Garand with a detachable 20-round mag and a well, you can't have them in California anymore. It used to have the flash hider.
Yes.
But now they come with muzzle brakes, and I've got 3 or 4 of them that I absolutely love, and they shoot great, fantastic firearm. The AR style gun, they're good for certain things.
You carry twice the ammunition loadout. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. Look, military's found out a couple of things. Number one, nobody's shooting anybody past 100 yards in a modern battle space. What you're doing is you're calling in artillery and mortar fire and that sort of thing, and airstrikes and stuff like that. So you don't need a gun that shoots 800 meters. When you build 1 billion rounds of something for warfare, the bigger cartridge literally costs more money to make. Mm-hmm. It uses more resources. It's harder to train people to use. Mm-hmm. So if you pick, as Jeff suggests, if you pick the right use for it, the M14 all day. If you pick the right use for it, the M16, it took a while to get it ironed out, but it's got some real benefits to it.
Yep. So there you go. All right. Let's get to Greg in San Diego. Gregory, what can we do for you?
Hey, how you doing, gentlemen?
Evening.
Good. My question is the reciprocity a real thing now where I've got my CCW in San Diego, California, and I can actually carry that in all 50 states?
Not yet.
Not yet. Working on it.
Yeah, they are working on it, but
they tried to get that in the big beautiful tax bill.
Yeah, but it didn't
they're talking about it on YouTube, and they're talking about it like it's already been done, but I just want to double check.
Yeah.
Yes, be on the safe side. It has not.
Closer than it's ever been. Let's just put it that way. But it is not law yet.
But know before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now,
okay.
Hey,
thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys.
Hey,
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. All right, let's jump over to Mark in Woodland Hills. Mark, how are you?
Hey, Mark.
The Three Musketeers of the Second.
Look at that.
What's going on?
Well, I'm glad Rick mentioned it, getting active. Because Trump is in office, yes, but it's not time to rest on our laurels.
No, sir.
Everybody admits that California is a shambolic mess, and having that cackling airhead Kamala Harris as governor would signal the coup de grace to our sacred Second Amendment rights, and you know that. Mm-hmm. I encourage everyone to become proactive with friends, family, even those who you meet by chance. Register to vote. Tell them that, and that if they want to save their state, they're going to have to do it. Nobody on their side of the football in Sacramento has the public's best interest at heart.
No, sir.
So it's really up to grassroots to carry Chad over the line to victory.
I agree.
And I hope he gets a phone bank together so the little guy can help him out in many ways.
Yep.
It really makes a difference to reach out and encourage folks that you talk to share their concerns. I'm sure their concerns align with our own. If we want to save the state, we got to do it.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
A good reminder, yeah.
No.
Right.
Yep.
Mark, as always, thanks for the call.
Always appreciate it, Mark. God
Take
bless
care.
you.
Bye-bye. All right, let's get to Robert in Sherman Oaks. Robert, what can we do for you?
How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great.
You guys piqued my interest.
Thank you.
You said you have a 10-22 Gatling gun in your next auction?
We do. It's actually dual 10-22 Gatling guns. It's all on one tripod. It's 2 different actions with a crank so that makes it legal in California. But it's 2 different 10-22s
simultaneously.
Yeah, right? You work like a Gatling gun.
So basically it's 2 Ruger 222s next to each other with a crank.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. I've been trying to be good, not to buy. I'm like your last your auction. I'm like, I can't go.
Oh, come on.
Well, you got to go now.
Yeah.
So no. But I'm gonna be in Illinois with my buddies for a month. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Well, that's why we take phone bids and sealed bids.
And remember, you can get them in on the deal too. Come on.
Is with the phone bid? Do I have to? So that I don't have. If I pay, I can come back and pay cash for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Also, you guys are talking about, we donate my shooting buddies and my golf buddies. We go out. I mean, I'm a member. I've been a 5-year at CRPA, and we donate money. And I did it to Chad. Is all the gun, all my gun guys, all people I know own guns. They do donate. It's the ones who don't.
I know.
I know people who are on the lefty side who own guns for whatever because they're clutching their pearls. Oh my God, something's going to happen.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Also, you guys, a couple weeks ago, you're talking about gunsmiths. I have a gunsmith in Van Nuys I've gone to for years. I don't know if you want me to give him his name.
Sure.
His name is Dean Wilkerson, Wilkerson in Van Nuys.
Mm-hmm.
He's older. He's great. He has a sign up there that says, "If you call about when your guns are ready, I'm tacking on $10."
My old gunsmith used to put you at the bottom when you because
it's going to take 2 more weeks.
Yeah, he was always so busy. Go ahead.
Yeah, his name is Dean Wilkerson, Wilkerson. You want me to get his phone number? I don't know if you like that or not.
Yeah, let's not because we don't have his permission. So
yeah. No, but he's this old timer guy that's been there for forever, and he's oh, here you go. All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, very good.
He calls you when it's ready.
That should be good enough, right?
Important to remember.
All right, Robert.
Well, I'm going to be looking. I can't wait about this. This Gatling gun.
I know
because there was one that at American Gun. It's a little short thing, and you put a Glock clip in.
The Tippmann.
Tippmann. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was great.
I have one of those. Yeah,
we've worked them, and they're pretty fun.
They're cool.
Yep. So
of course you have one, Jeff.
Well, I've been in the business a while.
Great coffee table piece.
I just recently last year bought an M1A.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that gun. That is so. I bought it brand new out of the box,
mm-hmm.
and not your auction, someone else's. And I've always wanted that. And what was that?
I said shame on you, but okay, go ahead.
You having a good time with it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they're just
a lot of fun.
Great fun. Yeah, great gun to shoot.
So, well, see, I have a lot of. I own a lot of. I don't know. You can ask me how many guns I own. I don't know, but certain things pique my interest, and the 10-22 Gatling. That
did
my interest.
We had a Gatling gun that was used in the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise a couple of years back. It went for like $55,000. It was a reproduction, but very cool setup. So anyway, all right, Robert.
I don't know if I could justify spending $55,000 on a gun.
Oh, sure you could.
We can find a way to justify it.
You figure it out.
Start with the 22 Gatling.
I told you before. I'm spending my kids' inheritance.
Well, yeah, but you know what you're doing? You're investing it.
I'm like, you don't worry about it.
You're investing it in things that are worth more than just about anything else. So, all right, Robert, thanks for the call. We'll talk to you later.
You guys are you three. You guys are so awesome. I listen. I like you. I share your show with all my buddies and everything like that. I'm like, I don't know, just get on there.
Yeah,
appreciate that, Robert. Thank you.
God bless you. Be safe out there.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Oh, yeah. We got about a minute and a half. So we got Doug in the Palisades and Mike in El Segundo. We'll get to you as soon as we get back from the commercial.
So real fast, I'll go ahead and try to drop some of these.
A couple more.
Oh, yeah. Jim Healy over there on, I believe he was on YouTube, docks 9 shots out of his 6-shot revolver.
Oh, the gunfight. OK Corral.
Mm-hmm. And, how about his 3 shots out of the side-by-side?
Yeah. He got a lucky barrel in there somewhere. Johnny Ringo, put up Blazing Saddles when the Waco kid's shooting from his forearm.
Yes, he rested on his forearm.
At about 400 yards with a 4 3/4-inch Colt. Yeah.
But what is that cylinder gap going to do to the forearm?
No, burn it to death.
We do that with revolvers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but keep sending them in, guys. I'm going to keep reading them out whenever we can.
The new one, I saw Jason Bourne movie. In the Jason Bourne movie, and this is Big Gun, a gentleman takes an anti-tank rocket. He's sitting in a helicopter. The door on his side is open. The door behind him, 3 feet away, is closed.
Okay.
And from the closed cabin of a helicopter launches an anti-tank rocket.
Ooh.
Seems
which
safe.
would do what to the inside of the helicopter?
Not good things.
That would add some-
Come on. They would have a door after that, probably.
The back there. That's right. It would open the other door with some certainty. I've only seen that done right one time in the old movie, The Bridge at Remagen. There is a scene in which a German, one of the werewolves, I think, one of the young kids fighting, launches a Panzerfaust in a closed room. And you hear a scream, and the guy behind him gets barbecued by the back blast.
Makes sense.
Which is
Come on.
what happens in the real world.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back. Away. Million miles away.
Dean Wilkerson did many SAS guns in the 80s. Used to work with Jim Bolin in the San Fernando Valley. Worked on my 1886, says Eric Peterson.
Good job, Eric.
Oh, and thank you, Bob. Bob put this up. Shorts, great idea. It gets you guys more exposure, and you're making everyone smarter.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Make sure everyone, if you're running across them, share them out, or at least tell a friend that, check these shorts out. They're real small clips. A couple of them are just
They're
maybe
fun, a couple seconds long.
Yeah, a couple of them maybe a minute or two longest. So just jump on. They're real fun. Love seeing them. They're done well. They're flowy. And if you don't have to listen to them, they all come with the captions, so you can just read them aloud. Yeah, let's get those likes up. Whoever's on there, just jump on there. If you're watching this, just hit the like button real fast. Hit the little thumbs up button on any of the places we're on.
Otherwise, the Wolfman gonna get you.
Come on, baby.
You have a gift for voices, and that's one of your better ones.
That's one of my favorites. Right and wrong at the same time. Lastovich.
How about shooting locks? This is an ongoing trope in television and movies where people will take a handgun and they'll shoot a lock, and the lock will, instead of being mangled and laughing off, now with a rifle, different
just
story,
opens like
but it just springs open.
Better than a key.
Yeah. The bullet doesn't splinter into 50
right,
pieces.
and there's no ball and back blast.
Not even a spark. How amazing. No, that's a... Good stuff, good stuff.
Listener from Cabo.
I know, Brian. Great having you. Thanks for sticking with us, even out there in Cabo.
Doing some fishing?
I think one of the last times he told us he was in Australia.
Damn.
You are a traveling man.
Having his best life, man. I'm making it an international show. Thanks, Brian. Now, this is Brian. He's talking about the fact that he's in Cabo San Lucas and he's doing it from other countries.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The never shooting empty revolver. Yep, that's another trope from especially the old Oter westerns.
Yeah.
The dropping the Uzi down the steps and what was that? Come on, what was it? True Lies.
That's
True
why
Lies.
they have the drop test.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
in case you're in high heels and a evening gown and you drop a
30 round magazine, fully automatic.
Yeah, down stairs.
Down the stairs, and it's perfectly wheeling over.
And it shockingly only hits bad guys.
But only the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of a stormtrooper. You can't. The stormtrooper
It used to be
can't
like
hit
the
him.
Illinois State Police had a commercial about working for them in which one of the guys was trying to train a stormtrooper, and he keeps moving him up closer and closer and closer to the target. And finally, the guy's standing next to the target, and he fires and misses. He goes, "How are you doing that?" It's a pretty fun bit.
the answer.
Oh.
And Eileen. Oh, forget about it.
It's too late in the show for this, folks.
Especially when all over the internet, it's just the voice. There's no music no more.
Yeah, it's just...
I ain't hitting those notes.
Have you ever noticed that about every 10 years, every decade, you have one song with a banjo in it that's cool?
Yeah.
I think that was the 80s one.
That was it.
That was it. The one.
And speaking of cool, let's get to our friend Mike in El Segundo. How are you, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Jeff and Jimmy and Mark. Doing great. Especially listening to your show. Doing really great. Thank you. We all remember, of course, I shouldn't say we all, but those who listen to your show at least, I'm sure, remember the shot that's heard around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Both historically and this year. The shots in Lexington and Concord, which started the real shooting in the American Revolutionary War when the British soldiers came to confiscate the Americans' firearms and their gunpowder. And that has to be a big reminder to everyone that, there's certain lines that when they get crossed, you cannot allow them to be crossed, basically. You have to stop it, or else you will be totally helpless, as the Americans would have been, totally helpless once they were disarmed. And that's the worst situation you can possibly be in. And just like if you're under criminal assault, you do not want to have the criminal disarm you. You don't want to allow them to tie you up or handcuff you and take you to another location, or you're very likely going to be killed, and maybe worse things before you get killed, or terrible things. Also, today is a one-year anniversary of another shot that was heard around the world, of course, and that was the bullet that was shot at Donald Trump by an assassin in Butler, Pennsylvania, that shot Trump in the head. And with the grace of God, Trump at that exact moment turned his head, or moved his head, of course, to look at a chart he was pointing to on the display, and that saved his life. He was only shot in the air with a tremendous amount of blood coming out. I shouldn't say only. It's terrible to get shot anywhere in your body. But that was yet another shot heard around the world. And yet Trump, just like Ronald Reagan, who was shot by an attempted assassin, they both did not turn against the Second Amendment. They did not turn against America's most important liberty of all, the one that protects all the other liberties. If anything, I think they both became even more strongly in support of the Second Amendment. And this shows a huge difference between Republicans and Democrats, because Democrats will exploit any crime or tragedy or assassination as an excuse to eliminate the Second Amendment, just like they misused the assassination of John Kennedy and Martin Luther King as well to pass the Gun Control Act of 1968, which was truly horrific.
Yep.
So I wanted to bring that to everyone's memory. And by the way, the Gun Control Act of 1968 does not even recognize your right to self-defense. It allows the government to ban importation of firearms that are considered not suitable for sporting and recreational use. And this is the Communist Democrat mindset, that we do not have a basic natural God-given right, a human right to protect ourselves and our families when the government cannot do it, and worse, when they do not want to do it, like when the Democrats want to defund the police, when they keep letting murderers, multiple murderers, and torturers, and rapists, and carjackers, and home invaders out of prison. They don't even want to put them in prison in the first place, especially if they're illegally here in the country.
That's the muddled mantras of the left. Only the police should have guns, but we don't trust the police.
Well, in fact, that's what you call a police state. That's Nazi Germany. That's one of the many parallels the Democrat Party has with the real Nazis, with Hitler's National Socialist German Workers' Party, they were Marxists. And the schools and the news media always cover that fact up. They lie when they tell us the Nazis were right-wing extremists. In fact, they were far left-wing extremists.
Well,
the only reason the Democrats would call Republicans right-wing extremists is because the Democrats are socialists and communists. They're so far whacked out on the extreme left end of the political spectrum that to them, anyone who's not as far left-wing as them, who's not a socialist or communist, must be a right-wing extremist.
Yeah. Well,
it's all very relative.
Mike, check this out. Read the 1968 Gun Control Act. It is almost word for word of the 1938 Nazi Germany Gun Control Act.
Come on.
I heard
Coincidence?
That. In fact, there was an organization called Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, JPFO, and their founder, is that Aaron Zellman? I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. He put out a book that showed how he tracked down the history of it, and he found some documentation that a Democrat congressman, a representative, I believe, or senator, I think it was representative, had actually done research on the Nazi Germany gun control laws. And they apparently actually went out of their way to model the Gun Control Act of 1968 after the German gun control laws.
Yeah.
So it was not just a coincidence.
No.
It was actually researched and copied, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to point out is that there are people like myself who became life members of the California Rifle and Pistol Association, CRPA, at CRPA.org, as well as the NRA a long time ago. And I became life members of both back in 1982 when the Democrats put a ballot measure on the California state ballot to ban handguns. And it was a slow motion ban, so it banned the introduction of any new handguns into California, and the plan was through attrition, people moving out of state, people dying, and guns just wearing out, that you would not be able to replace them, and they wanted to get guns banned over time slowly if they could not do it instantly all at once. So people like myself got really woken up back in 1982 when that was put on the ballot, and we donated lots of money, became life members. But people have to remember, when you're a life member of CRPA or other pro-gun organizations, that does not mean you should stop giving money. You still need to donate money every year, or more often than once a year, because freedom isn't free. Okay, we have very, very evil, demonic forces trying to destroy our ability to protect ourselves from them. And they have plans as bad as or worse than the worst of the socialists, including the Nazis and the communists, for our future. And they don't have concentration camps and gulags in this country yet because they're not physically able to do it yet. That's why they need to get rid of the Second Amendment and private firearms ownership. So keep that in mind. If you wait until you feel it's urgent to donate money to the organizations that are protecting our freedom, it's going to be too late.
It really is. And Mike, I got a bunch of other calls I got to get going. As always, thanks for the call.
Always
we'll
appreciate
talk to you again.
You're welcome. Take care, gentlemen.
God bless you, Mike.
Let's get to Doug in Palos Verdes. Doug, how are you?
Good, and you guys?
Good.
Great show.
Thank you, Doug.
I got a question about a Remington 870. It's I got it in 1985. It's a police model, and when I rack it, not all the time, but every once in a while, it'll spit a round out of the tube after I've already pulled the bolt home, and the lifter is down, so it gets jammed between the two.
Cartridge broken stop.
Yeah, your cartridge. It sounds like your cartridge stop is broken. Here's see, Palos Verdes. Who's out in that area? Bolsa, Gunworks. Evans. Gunsmithing in Orange. It's a pretty simple fix.
It's an easy fix.
Yeah, pretty easy fix. But yeah, you definitely want to get that working. And
yes, I do. I do a whole lot of gunsmithing myself. So.
Then you might be able to do it yourself. Check your cartridge stops.
And that is, you have to remove the lower tube, or the back tube.
The cartridge stops, I'm trying to remember, they are on the 870. They're inside the receiver.
Yeah.
So they're just in front of the lifter.
Okay, so it's inside the receiver, and you just got to pop those out and replace them?
Yep.
Should be a broken spring or maybe a broken finger off. How old did you say the firearm was?
Mid-80s.
It's 85, and it's had...
Boy, I hate to be the one that says this, but you know how many years ago that was? You replaced any parts on a 40-year-old car?
Now and then.
I just replaced the bolt and the lifter and all the parts to bring it up to the new, so it's got the slot in it. It's got more... flexibility.
Okay.
Good.
So I just changed all that, but you're saying it's the...
Sounds like the cartridge stops, yeah.
Almost assuredly.
Cartridge stop.
Yep. All righty.
Sweet.
Thank you very much.
You bet, Doug. Thanks for the call.
Let us know how that goes.
Bye-bye.
And that's what this show's made for, right?
Let's get to, Big Jake out in Anaheim. How are you?
Hey.
Are you sleeping? Yep, there you are. Okay. What's going on, Jake?
I want to say hi to Mark, Jeff, and Jimmy.
How are you?
Thank you for that.
I'm about 10 years older than you. I grew up in California, and I remember back when the 1022s were brand new, and shortly after, a year or two, this is back probably in the, late 60s, early 70s, Mitchell came out with a 50-round drum magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Now it was like a drum, like a Thompson drum. This was an oblong, 6-inch long conveyor belt.
I know that. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could get that Gatling gun going with 2 of those with the alternating trigger pulls of that crank and put out 100 rounds. And I remember a friend had one time. We were up in San Jose at the time. We were out jackrabbit hunting. And the jackrabbit saw that, and all of a sudden, they all came out with sticks with white flags on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure you heard a few.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what would happen if somebody bought that Ruger Gatling gun and they ended up out in the desert somewhere with 2 50-round drums like that. Would that be semi-legal, legal?
If you own the magazine before the year 2000, then you can still own it and still use it.
Oh, okay, so they're grandfathered in. That's good.
Yep.
Alrighty.
A lot more fun with 100 rounds. And
heck yeah. That sounds like a party.
Yeah, that little 10 round box mag that
goes pretty quick.
Yeah, that would be about 3 cranks and you'd be
the
done.
Tipman with the 30-round magazine goes quick.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to throw that tidbit in from a memory.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jake. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks so much for the call. That's awesome.
Okay.
That sounds
Good
like a fun
times
time.
back when we were young.
Yeah, oh, yeah. We still got Barney in Sherman Oaks. We'll get to you right after the break. And Brent from ALA is calling in.
Yeah.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslingers Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yep.
Goes your daddy home, is gonna leave you all alone. Hey, it's Jeff.
Hey, it is Jeff.
He turned into a piece of Mr.
Oh,
Springsteen, man. Has he moved out of the country yet forever and ever because we're bad?
Who knows? I understand he's getting booed all over the country, so and well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, built his legacy off of being a real American
man of the people.
Yeah,
and
then pissed backwards all over that.
Oh my gosh, pissed backwards into a fan.
Huge fan of free speech.
Yeah,
and of the consequences which may occur as a result of that.
Yep.
You know what? The rules of the schoolyard. There's some places that kind of talk don't fly.
We got 12 minutes left.
Last segment. What happens? You people, what happens with you? Why do you make time go so fast?
Oh, here we go.
There we are.
She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409. My 409. Well, I saved my pennies and I saved my dimes. Giddy up, 409. For I knew there would be a time. Giddy up, 409. When I would buy a brand new 409. Welcome back, everybody, to our last segment already.
Oh, my God. Like I say it every week. Fastest 2 hours on radio,
I
folks.
tell you,
Time for about 40 of you to call in now.
Yeah, well, we still got calls, so let's get to Barney in Sherman Oaks. What can we do for you?
Evening, Barney.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
No Leon tonight, huh?
Well, we did the Beach Boys song for Leon, so
yeah, he's our special
Nice.
guest. We want to save him for a
He'll
while.
be back.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a customer that used to come down from Washington State, and during the Reagan administration, and he was building stainless steel handguns over in Arizona somewhere for Ollie North. He was hauling them down to the Central America thing that was going on down there. I was wondering if you're aware of those. The stainless steel handguns that were made in Arizona.
I'm trying to think.
Well, yeah, Ruger. I mean, a lot.
Up at Prescott?
That's kind of like saying, hey, you know where these grapes came from? There's a lot of gun companies that make a lot of different guns, and most of them these days are in stainless steel. So, I am not aware of anybody making them for Ollie North for South America specifically. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. I've been meaning to call you for a couple of weeks and just finally got through.
Well, glad. Oh, glad
Appreciate
you made it
the
through.
call.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the call, Barney.
Okay.
Take care now.
You're welcome. Thank
Bye-bye. All right, let's get to Brent in L.A. How are you, Brent?
Hey, shalom, Brent.
Shalom, you courageous and sagacious gunslinger.
Oh, it's good to hear
Courageous
from
and
you.
sagacious.
Always.
Good sentence.
What's going on, Brent?
Well, Jeff, unfortunately, you were wrong about how many Jewish slaves chose to remain slaves in Egypt rather than take the risk of living as free men.
Was it more?
Live with Moses for the land of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, according to the Talmud, according to the Talmud, it wasn't 70% who chose to remain slaves. It was 80.
Wow.
Only 20% of the Jews in ancient Egypt left with Moses.
There you go.
And I think there's a very important moral and lesson we learn about humanity. There's a similar analogy to America's black slaves in the pre-bellum South, who also rarely sought to flee on the Underground Railroad, even when they had an opportunity to free themselves. According to Dr. Thomas Sowell, George Washington's slaves who were offered their freedom chose to remain on his plantation. And today, every Democrat who remains in the Democrat Party is a volitional, cowardly socialist slave. So we choose slavery at a very high clip.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And
The comfort of the familiar.
yeah, and
It explains
Freedom can be frightening. It comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that people don't even see that what slavery is in the authenticity of it all, because
Well, you look back and, Brent, me and Mark are probably right around in the same age. And you think about if we were to transport ourselves to being 12 or 10 years old right now, would you want to be in? We would be the biggest fish out of water, because when we were 10, the things that we could do then, the kids don't even understand now.
No.
And the reason they don't understand is because they've not been exposed to it. Drinking out of a hose, having fun on a bicycle, being home at dark.
When the lights come on, right?
Play until it was so dark you couldn't play anymore.
Yeah. And the kids today, all they know is how to work their thumbs. On a phone or on a video game, they can't throw a ball, but they can use their thumb to throw a ball.
No hand-eye coordination, just thumb-screen coordination.
Yeah,
right?
and it's just sad. And we've let ourselves into this, and we need to get ourselves out.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's my soapbox.
Right, but not only about the physical world where you're right. It's really sad that they choose to use their thumbs to go to certain websites that they ought not go to, but they won't go into those that will elevate them, educate them, ennoble them, enrich them. And so we are just, what has gone on with our literature and with our theater and with our movies. There was a time where movies were righteous. I call it when Hollywood was holy. There were all kinds of morals and ethics you could learn through Hollywood.
Yeah, we mentioned Jason Bourne. Could you imagine Gary Cooper as Jason Bourne?
With freedom comes responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's a word that doesn't have much play in today's world, does it? That's a real good point, though. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, not just the movies, but the television. Absolutely. That's especially because we're bombarded by so much reality, so-called reality television and all this. Man, I was just telling you a couple months ago that the number one show that was on my TV for a while was Highway to Heaven, and now Little House is kind of playing in the background, a lot of stuff. There's a wholesome bit that we've lost out on so greatly, and you know what? And you can see it in this generation, just the way their speech and their actions are. Yeah. It's horrendous.
And that's why I'm serious. We have to make the Western great again. Yeah. Because we grew up with that, and there's so many wonderful lessons to learn, especially when people have parents who haven't time to be with them.
Yeah. Well, Brent, I've been saying this for 20 years. The right needs to get together. They need, there's a lot of billionaires on the right, and we need to get them together and buy NBC. And turn NBC into something watchable.
Because I think people would watch worthwhile programming that had some sort of moral center. Because right now we're kind of missing that.
And it doesn't have to be Fox News. It obviously wouldn't be CNN News, but actual just news.
Just call it news?
Yeah. Not a right-leaning, not a left-leaning, just what happened.
What happened?
And I think people would flock to this by the score.
And Quantum Leap.
Yep.
Bring back Quantum Leap.
You mean Sam could come out of wherever he went?
Yes.
He got abducted by the guy from Animal House.
Oh, cool, Lucky.
Well, the Bruce McGill, the guy that he played D-Day on Animal House. They kind of allude that he is God in the very last episode when Sam disappears. But I always think, no, man, he got abducted by D-Day.
Come on, man.
Anyway, Brent, as always, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Brent. God bless you, sir.
Good talking to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wow, we made it, man. That was about 20 some odd phone calls.
Because they kind of said I'm reading some of the comments on there.
Go.
Let's bring this back up. Let's end with a laugh. Let's close the show on a high note. Let's do this. So another movie thing that people kind of get. I think Kirk brought it up. When the hero walks into the gunfight while it's going and just waltzes through, let's say, and everything's passing by and he's just taking them out one by one.
Oh, yeah.
That's always something.
I love the John Wick movies, but come on.
Right? There's some very deft and potentially very real gun handling because the guy trains well. He trains with Taron Butler, knows what he's doing.
Yep. But
some real improbabilities taking place.
When White Earp's walking through the river, and no, and
that's actually
bad
supposed
news
to be
is
true.
That one did happen.
Yeah. But in the authenticity of it all, that's one of those other things that a movie kind of glamorizes.
There are so many problems with Tombstone. My least favorite part in Tombstone is Morgan, and this is right after Virgil's been shot in the arm, which those happen months apart, but it's all in the same night in the movie. Mm-hmm. So you got Virgil laying there, and I still got one good arm to hug you with, and blah blah blah. And Morgan is freaking out. They shot Mayor Clum's wife. They're bugs. There's no living with bugs. And he screams and he runs out into the alley and he goes right down the street and starts playing pool.
I feel much better.
Yeah, pool.
That'll cool me out.
Okay, a silly one that I want to bring up is remember the Evil Dead movies?
Oh yeah,
Bruce
love
Campbell.
Them. Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of Army of Darkness, he's at Shop S-Mart, and he does leans it over the back of his shoulder and fires at one of the zombies behind him, and they go bouncing off like a cartoon. Anytime I watch anyone rest it and they do that backward shot with the shotgun or rifle on there, always makes me think, how are you aiming, number one?
Yeah.
And
that's the Joe Biden method.
Yeah.
So that's always been one. I love all the Evil Dead movies. Bruce Campbell is a genius.
Yeah, great shows. Well,
this is my boomstick.
Band of Brothers, one of the best shows ever made, and I think I mentioned this last week. Dick Winters, he's got his Garand and he charges up that hill and he's behind enemy lines, and there's that one soldier right in front of him and he shoots him from the hip. It's like no. Dick Winters was a soldier. There is no chance in hell he had that at a hip. He brought it up and he shot it as you are supposed to, a rifle, because you're going to risk your life by trying to look cool.
No one was watching. Come on.
Yeah.
The sniper scope in another movie I really did like, Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you've got the rifle, so you know.
Yeah. Well, and this is a unerdal scope. Yeah. Okay. A unerdal scope is kind of like if you just took a tube and tried to look through it. It's a tube with some glass, kind of, sort of, and he shoots, and Jackson takes and he sets it up and he shoots, and of course he shoots him. He does the shoot, which they've proven over and over again cannot happen. At a distance, that bullet does not go through the scope and take the guy out. It goes through the scope and veers
refracts.
off. They've done that. Mythbusters has done that multiple times. I've seen that in so many different shows at trying to replicate it, and it never ever happens.
We're gun guys, so that sort of detail will not escape us. But you have to remember, when you're watching television, when you're watching the movies, the same things, the liberties they take with their firearms handling are the same same kind of liberties that they'll take with the truth.
Okay, at the end, just before they go to the Alamo in Saving Private Ryan, Ryben's going to take out the 20 millimeter with a top shot. So he runs across. Now he's got all these German infantry coming at him, and he's got his BAR at his hip, and he's just flaring. It's like, dude, that's not a fire hose.
Come on, he's a fireman.
And you've got 20, and they go fast.
Yes, they do. And come on, you can put a BAR up to your shoulder.
We'll have to do a whole
surprisingly accurate.
We'll have to do a whole one about Desperado one day.
Oh, yeah. Forget about it. We need 2 episodes for that. Hey, guys, that's it. We're done.
We did it, folks.
We got to go.
Thank you all so much for listening and playing along.
Thanks so much for all the calls. Calls make this show.
Yes.
Guys, don't forget to smile. Just little curves. That's a lot of things straight. Thank you, Leon. We'll see you guys next week.
God
Goodbye.
bless you guys. Have a great week. We
Thanks
love
for the
you.
calls.